Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about my 1 year running plan. So I'm definitely not the sort of person that plans ahead traditionally. I'm the sort of person that kind of just takes each day as it comes. And to be honest, that has worked for me for 41 years so far. So I don't know why I'm about to change it in terms of running, but I am. So in this video, I am going to talk to you about what I plan to do in my running over the next year. I've just come off a marathon block and I've decided to plan out my year ahead and see really how far I can get in terms of speed and distance. So if you're new to the channel, I will now explain where I've been in terms of my running journey so far. If you've already heard this before, you can skip this intro and get into the main part of the video. So I've been running for 2 years. I've ran 4 marathons now inside that 2-year period, or just outside it. I started running to lose a bit of weight and quickly, over a few months got pretty into the sport, and now I run 5 or 6 times a week and absolutely love it. I have run 4 marathons so far, countless half marathons and a few 5 and 10Ks. My first marathon was 6 months after I started running. I ran that in 4 hours 31 minutes. I then trained a bit harder for the next marathon and done it in 3 hours 59 minutes and 46 seconds. Those first 2 marathons I really struggled with, but in the second one I did meet the goal, which was to a sub 4 hour. 6 months after that I done another marathon and tried to knock half an hour off my time, so I went for a sub 3:30 and I completely crashed at 14 miles and had a bit of a horrendous experience trying to finish that marathon. I then went into another marathon block, which was the last number of months, and 2 weeks ago, or 10 days ago, I just ran a 3:26 marathon at Belfast. So really over a 2-year period, I have went from not being able to run very far to running 4 marathons, running nearly daily and knocking an hour and 5 minutes off my marathon time in about 18 months. When I started running, the first 3 months really was about 3 miles was my limit. And my endurance got a wee bit better and I was able to run then 10k. I did do a couple of races after maybe 6 months to a year. My 10k time I got down to 51 minutes or 52 minutes, and that was about 18 months ago. My 5k time around that time was probably in around 25 minutes, and I thought the first time I broke 25 minutes I was actually so happy. But over the last year I have got considerably faster. I've been training really hard. I haven't done a 5k in a wee bit, maybe 5-6 months. Well, November passed, what's that, 4 or 5 months ago, and I done on my watch it said 21 minutes and 6 seconds. That was a couple of weeks after Dublin Marathon and I really went for it. So I think that was an average pace of 6:49 or 6:47, and to be honest I haven't tried to do a 5k since. My 10k time I have got down to 52:51. Sorry, that's wrong. 42:51. 10 minutes off myself there. And that was just a couple of months ago, a local race which was quite flat, and I was really happy with that time. So I just broke the 43 minutes. In March past I done a 10-mile race which I done in 1 hour 10 minutes and something, which was 14 minutes off the 10-mile race I done 1 year previous to that. So that's a bit of my background. I've went from a 5k time of, at the beginning, I think my first one, 27 minutes, and I've got it down to 21 minutes. My 10k time went from 52 minutes and I've got it down to 42 minutes over a 1.5 year period. Most of that has happened within the last 12 months, to be honest. I got a coach 12 months ago and it's really since then that I've got a lot faster. I will say over this past 4 months in the marathon training that I was doing for the sub 3:30, I did try and lose a bit of weight. I have went from, well, I was 90 kilograms just 2.5 years ago, and I am now 75 kilograms. Now, but I would say I lost a bit of weight and then I ran for really nearly 2 years without losing any. And then I really tried from February past until now, which is only a few months, to lose some more, and I lost 6 kilograms. And I really feel that 6 kilograms has made a bit of a difference. What is my plan moving forward for the next year? So, as I said, I have done 4 marathons really in the last 18 months. And that was October, May, October and April. Now, I would love to do another marathon, this autumn, but it's not going to happen because we are having another baby, and the last thing I want to be doing with the new baby in the house is really feeling that I have to get out for these long runs, over the end of the summer period. The baby's due in July, and August, September, October, I don't want to be, running 60 miles, 70 miles a week. I just won't have time for it. So the plan is, over the next 6 or 7 months, I am going to obviously continue running, but I have a master plan of how I'm going to get from a 3:26 marathon now to a sub 3 marathon this time next year. So next April, say, I want to be going for a sub 3 hour marathon. Now, if you're watching this video and you think that I am absolutely nuts and that's not possible over the next year, well, you're free to think that. Let me know in the comments if you think this is a wee bit of an optimistic plan. It's what I'm going to go for, but in the process of that, don't get me wrong, if I get to this time next year and I'm not in that shape, like, I'll hold my hands up, I will, and obviously won't go for it. I do plan to work as hard as possible and try, so why not? But between now and then, what I plan to do over the next 6 or 7 months is get my 5k time and 10k time down as far as possible. I've said to my coach that that's what the plan is. Can you please help me get as much shaved off the 5k time as possible and the 5k and 10k time as possible? I really want to go for it over the next number of months, and then around December time, I will then get into another marathon, a 4-month marathon block, and go for the sub 3 next April. The marathon that I will go for next April might be Manchester. I'm not 100% sure on that. I have entered the London ballot. I do know that that is, a slim chance of getting in. So if I don't get into the London one, which I'm not really optimistic that I will do either Manchester or just go for it at Belfast again. I would like to do a flatter marathon than Belfast, because the 4 marathons that I've done have been like Belfast 3 times and then Dublin, which both of those marathons are quite hilly. And I do know from watching other videos that Manchester Marathon is not flat, but it is flatter than Belfast and Dublin for sure, because I think from looking at other people's Strava, there's maybe 350 or 400 foot of elevation across the whole marathon, whereas in Belfast that is 600 and Dublin it's sort of between 600 and 700, or 650. So anyway, that's not a problem for me. It was in the first couple of marathons because I don't really feel I put the training in properly, but now that I've got my training sorted, the fueling properly sorted on the marathon, the hills don't really annoy me as such. I done Belfast 10 days ago, and the hills, yes, they're tough, but I got through them. So we'll wait and see. We'll just wait and see what marathon I do. If all fails, I will do Belfast again next April. May, whatever. It's normally the end of April, start of May. So there you are. So in terms of the 5k goal, my personal best at 5k right now is 21 minutes and 6 seconds, I believe. What can I do, or how far can I get that down over the 6 months? Well, I haven't entered any races as such, but I would like to think, and you might laugh at what I'm about to say, but my goal over the next 6 months is to do a 16:59 5k. That is pretty optimistic over a 6-7 month period. Yes, I want to take 4 minutes off my 5k time. I understand what you're thinking right now is really optimistic, but I feel pretty positive toward it. I might be eating my words in a number of months' time, and you'll all be laughing and saying, "What the hell are you going on about? How could you shave that off so fast?" But I'm really going to go for it. I really am. And the 10k time, again, you might laugh. I want to do a 35:59 10k. That means taking a whole 6 minutes and 42 seconds off. Is it 42? I'm not sure. Nearly 7 minutes off a 10k time. Maybe that is a bit hot, but I'm going to go for it. So, to be honest, the 10k time that I set, 42, I think it was either 42:52 or 42:42. I'm not 100% sure. It was something around that. I'd done that in January past, which is a few months ago. My 21:06 5k was done last November. This is now May. I do know that I have got faster. So, to be honest, right now I'm probably in around the 20-minute shape in terms of a 5k. I think I'm in around that. So really I want to shave off 3 minutes, which is, a minute per mile. So I've actually already started the training for this here. My coach sent me a plan through, which I will share in another video. I want to go through really, what I'm getting myself in for in terms of like the running. I do know it's pretty intense. Like I have 5 runs a week, and 3 of those are sessions, 3 at least are sessions. And the coach that I have is not into giving you an easy time. He's really not, but I do know that he gets results. Like if you look at his Facebook page, and he's getting people from 4-hour marathons down to 2-hour 42 in the space of a number of years. And well, I'm hopefully going to be living proof of that. If I can do a sub 3-hour marathon this time next year, that means I have went from 4.5 hours to sub 3 in just over 2 years, which for me I think would be pretty impressive. But I have full confidence in the coach and what he's setting me. That really is my goal. I hope I can do it. The training has already started, as I have said. Today I went to the track. I done a warm-up first of all, then I done 1 mile at 6:25 pace, then I done 8 400 repeats, and I ran them all below 6-minute mile pace. Now I was really pushing myself this morning. I had 4 400s with a 45-second rest in between, and then a 1 lap jog around the track, and then another 4 times 400, and I done them about 5:50 pace. So really that shows the shape that I'm in right now. I can do I done the 1 mile at 6:25 pace. To be honest, I was pretty tired after that. The thought of trying to do that for 5k, I probably could squeeze that out of myself in a good day. Running any faster than that at all, I tire really quick, because I haven't really done any running faster than that at all. Like I've been training for a marathon really for 2 years. So really, in terms of not that I understand this, and please be aware that this YouTube channel will not be me giving you advice, because I'm not qualified to give you advice. I've been running for 2 years, so I really just want to share my experiences. But about 6 weeks ago, maybe 7 weeks ago, I spent a day with Stephen Scullion, who is an Irish Olympian. He's from Belfast. I was shooting content for him, and he very kindly gave me lots of advice. He actually done a lactate test on me around the track, so he got me to run 800s, starting off, I think it was around 8.5-minute mile pace, and then I ended up going sort of through the motions, doing 800s, and at the very end he said to me, after 800 he took my lactate, and at the very end he said, could you do one more? And I ran 1 lap, I think, and it was very close to 5-minute mile pace for that lap, and I was dizzy, I felt sick. That was me really pushing it for 400. And I've obviously watched all his videos, and that is somebody who is definitely qualified to give you advice, and I have taken his advice on board. He's actually at the time, because I helped him out with content, he was able to help me a wee bit and give me advice in terms of my training plan. And he talked to me a lot about the curve, which you'll probably hear in his videos as well. And what he was able to tell me was that running easy, my fuel economy was really good. Running steady, I think that's the correct term, the correct way to put it. Running steady, my lactate was staying low, and then whenever I got to a certain point, I can't remember exactly when it was in around 7-minute miles or 6:50 or something like that. Whenever I got to there, the graph or the curve of me just went it was starting to slowly go up, and then just went straight up. So he was able to tell without even asking me that I didn't spend very much time running faster than half marathon pace, which is very true, because I was running for a certain time in a marathon. So I think that's, my coach was giving me all this training to help me get to a certain time in a marathon. He wasn't giving me training to get faster 5k, but now he is. So thank you very much to Stephen for actually giving me all that information. As I say before, I'm an absolute newbie in terms of running, so I'm learning bit by bit. you know, and I am a fast learner, like I'm a photographer. I learned that very fast, and it's the same with running. I do soak up everything pretty well, and I'm learning a lot, especially in the last year. So I've learned quite a lot, thanks to people like Stephen, who, you know, watching their YouTube videos is very, very informative, and actually his running skill is very, very good. If you get a chance to look at that, please do, if you're wanting to improve your running. I'm not the person to improve that for you, but I know that his running skill is absolutely amazing, and I'll maybe put a link to that in the description below. But anyway, now's the time where I'm really working on that higher end of the curve, so I am going to do a lot more running at, like this morning, we're doing 400 repeats at, you know, 6 minute or just below 6 minute mile pace. Yes, it's very hard on me. That really is essential for me to get faster. I know that next week I have hill repeats, and I also have another track session where I'm doing 200s, even faster again, and that's really just going to keep going over the next number of months, and hopefully I can get used to running at 6 minute or just below 6 minute mile pace over the next number of months and go for that big PB at some stage later in the year of 16:59 and 35:59 in the 10k. Listen, I'm just going to go for it, and we'll see how we get on. Going beyond that, the marathon block will really start in December. I will move into longer distances from then on. I'm talking about the longer runs. I will, from now to then, I will be doing longer runs, but just my running will be geared more toward the shorter distance. In January, February next year, I'll be well into marathon training, and that's when the miles will really creep up, and I will go for them longer distances. But my thinking is, if I can get the shorter distances down as far as possible and then start working on the endurance, then I have a lot more chance of getting to that sub 3 within a year. If that doesn't happen, by the way, I am not going to be like crying over the head of this. If it takes me 3 years to get sub 3, so be it. I just want to give my all over the next while, and hopefully, and I say hopefully, that it all works out to plan. If not, we'll just do it another year. I absolutely don't mind. There's a 10 mile local race that I have done for the last 2 years. I've done it in March past and the March before that. 2 Marches ago, I done it in nearly 1 hour 25 minutes for the 10 miles, and then this year past, or this March past, I done it in 1 hour 10 minutes. The plan would be, I think I need to be able to do that about sub 59. Yep, I'm laughing at myself here. But can I take 10 minutes off that? That's a minute a mile in a year. I think I can. I took 14 minutes off it, or nearly 15 minutes off it in a year previous. Maybe that's a big ask. But anyway, my plan would be to be able to do that 10 mile race next March in around the 1 hour mark. And then hopefully my half marathon time would be down to like the 122, 123, 120, somewhere in around there. And you know, around March time next year, and then the plan would be then for the marathon to be sub 3. That's the big goal. Anyway, let's get stuck into the training and let's see what happens. And if there's no harm in trying these things, but please follow along the journey. If you have any questions, please just drop them in the comments below. If you want to tell me that I am bonkers and it's not going to happen, just drop it in the comments below. If you're as optimistic as I am, give me a cheer on. Happy days, let's do this. But there we are. So in this video I have covered really where I am in terms of running now, where I've came from over the last couple of years, the plan ahead, and that plan ahead really is getting 5 and 10k times down as far as possible, and then at the end of this year jumping into that marathon block, and April 2024 or May 2024 go for a sub 3 hour marathon. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you taking the time. If you haven't watched the video of me doing the sub 3:30 marathon last week, please check it out. And yeah, thank you so much. Have an absolute blessed day, and I will see you in the next video very, very soon.